Welcome to the Raven's Call. I'm Eric, Wordweaver Shervin, Gothi of the Ridgar folk here in East Texas. Now, in all of heathenry, there's one concept that I find to be more essential and more true than just about anything else. And that is that nothing matters more than the Innangardh, the inner yard. Now, this is a term most people are already familiar with if they've been in heathenry for any length of time, but I'm going to go over them real quick just in case there are those viewers that are not yet familiar with this particular part of the lexicon. The term Innangardh translates to inner yard. And that's as simple as it is, the inner yard. And Utangardh, its counterpart, is the outer yard. Now, the basic idea of inner yard versus outer yard can be summed up like this. If you take all of the people you know, all of the people that you interact with, that you care about, and you place them all near you in proximity as to how important they are to you, with your house being the center of your world, you'll find that those people that are most important to you are going to be closer to you, closer to your house, and those people that are less important to you will be further out. Now, the way that this plays out is you've got the yard, okay? Now, the inner yard, the Innangardh, is that group of people that are the most important to you. Imagine you've got a fence, and this blocks off your yard. This is your yard. This is your place, your safe space. This is where trust occurs. This is where frith is, your frithstead. Inside this yard, you only allow those people that you truly trust and that you truly care about. Those people that matter the most to you. Now, this is a necessarily small number. Most people only have less than a dozen folk in their Innangardh at any given time. Sometimes you'll find more in larger tribes and whatnot. But a vast majority of people will seldom find themselves with more than that at any given time. Now, most of us are familiar with the terminology of the inner circle or the circle of trust. That is roughly what Innangardh translates to, in an oversimplified version. Okay? Innangardh are those people that are family to you. If you look back at Heathen times, the smallest divisible unit in the social structure was that of the sib, or the family, the immediate family. The sib usually consisted of one single family unit that lived under the same roof, what some would refer to as the roof tree. Typically, the sib is made up only of immediate family members. This can take different forms, but essentially it is the smallest unit. Anything that an individual did was as a representative of that sib, of that family. And this grew. You had the sib, and that grew into what became the bigger family, the extended family, the clan, and then clans make up tribes. This is the social structure, the basic units of heathenry. And within all of this grand expanse, you have that small circle that means the absolute most to you. This is what we call the inner yard. Now, to go back to our analogy from before, everyone you know, all of the clan, the tribe, and then the allied tribes, everyone else in the world, everyone goes on the continuum of this yard. Your house, your sib, makes the center of this yard, the farmhouse, if you will. And then that yard, that inner yard that is circled by a fence, are those people that you have the most interaction with, those people that mean the most to you, those people that you trust, those people that are family to you. Whether they're blood family or not, doesn't matter. These are the people that you call family. Everybody knows the whole brother from another mother, sister from another mister, all that kind of stuff. These are those people. Those people that you know they're not blood related, but you call them brother anyway. You know that you have different moms, you have different dads, but they're still your sister. It doesn't matter. These are the people that you call mama, papa, that are no kin to you, but still they're there. They're the people that matter the most to you, and you genuinely look to them as family. That's your Innangardh. That's your inner yard. Those are the people that matter the most. Now, as you progress out from the house, out towards the fence line, it is a continuum. The people that you hold the nearest and dearest are closest to the home. The people that are your sib are in the home. As you move out towards the fence line, the degrees of attachment back off just a little bit. But still, anyone who is inside that fence, in the inner yard, are your tightest people, your truest people, the ones you truly call friend or family. Now, you get onto the fence, and there's a barrier here. Outside of that, even just outside the fence, standing there looking in, can be close friends, close relations that you know, that you care about, genuinely care about, but they're not family. You care about them, but they're not quite the same. I'll get to my analogy here in just a second, but that's where near friends are. And then further out from the fence, you get further into what is the outer yard, the Utangardh. Now, in the Utangardh, you have friends and relations that you don't have, and these can be family too. Just because you're blood related doesn't mean they're inner yard. They can still be outer yard. I have kinfolk all across the United States that I've never met before. I do not consider these people Innangardh. They're still family. We still have ties, but they're not Innangardh. I have people whom I am not related to in the slightest, and they are my Innangardh. They are my family. So, and that's no slight to those family members that are in other states or in other countries. I just simply don't have the relationship with them. The further out from the line you go, friends, relations, associates, to people you barely know, to people you don't even know. The further away from the fence you get, the less tied to you they are, the less important they are to you. They're not your people. The inner yard, that's your people. These are the ones you are fiercely protective of. These are the ones with whom you share frith, true frith. The outer yard, not so much. You do not owe to the outer yard what you owe to the inner yard. Now, far out in the expanses, in the wilds, in the woods, far beyond any cleared land, the outlaws. These are the people who do not even factor in because you have cast them out of your societal structure. The outlaws are non-entities. And I'm willing to bet several of us have those people that we will not even admit exist, let alone try and interact with. People that you will actively walk the other way from, who you cast out from society, and would not spit on if they were on fire. Not everyone does. Good for you if you don't have any of those. But many of us do have outlaws, and we understand the mentality of it. Now, I'll do another video on the whole outlaw prospect later on. It's actually more complex than just that from an actual societal standpoint, because outlawry was an official designation, at least within Norse and Icelandic social structure. So, that's something I'll come back to in a later video, but essentially we have our own personal outlaws, too, that we have cast out from our society that do not factor into Innangardh and Utangardh. They are the wolves far outside the outer yard, into the woods. Imagine, if you will, that you get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now you roll over and you look at this, because we live in the age of cell phones and caller ID. You roll over and you look, and you see who is calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning, when you have to get up and be at work early in the morning. As you cuss and you try and blearily wipe the sleep from your eyes, you lay eyes on the name. Now, you're in Innangardh, your inner yard. These are the people that when you roll over and you see that name on that phone, you flip it open. And in worried tone, you say, "Hey, what's up? How are you? What's going on? What do you need?" And they begin to tell you they're broken down on the highway, miles outside of town, and they don't have any help, and it's raining, and they're in a rough spot. If it's your Innangardh, these are the people that you are already out of bed, putting your boots on. You may or may not even have bothered to put on real pants. You may be in your trackies going outside, but you're throwing your boots on, you're throwing your shoes on, grabbing the purse, grabbing the wallet, whatever it may be. You're getting in your car and you're going without a second thought, without a hesitation. These are the people that you will answer their beck and call at any point in time, any day or night. You're there for them because that's how much they mean to you. Just outside the fence in the outer yard, these are the people that you're going to go, have you called a tow truck? Have you called Sammy? He's over there in that area. What about Jimmy? What about this guy? What about that guy? Have you called any of them? They've got trucks. They're nearer to you than I am. If you can't get a hold of them, I'm still coming. That's near the fence on either side. As you get further outside the fence, further out into the outer yard, you look at it and go, look, it's late. I can't. I have to be at work in the morning. I will call a tow truck for you, though. But you're not getting out of bed. You're not going to help. If you are, it's very begrudgingly, and you're going to grouse about it all next day. Now, if you go deep into the outer yard, towards the outlaw status, these are the people that you're going to roll over. You're going to look at that phone. You're going to click the button, and you're going to put it back down. These are the people I would be surprised if they called you in the first place. That's far. That's deep in the outer yard. So that's how I think about it. The 3 a.m. phone call. You're in Innangardh, you'll answer nothing flat. You're on your way out the door, keys in hand, before they've even explained what the problem is. Further out you get into the yard, the less you're willing to do for these people until you get so deep into the outer yard you're wondering why this person even called you in the first place. Now, in all of life, there's nothing that's more important than the Innangardh, your inner yard. This is family. This is what life is about. If you're not seeing to your Innangardh, then what are you doing? What is your purpose? Innangardh is the most important. Innangardh is what forms the basis of tribe. These are your people. Again, we go back to the Sib is the smallest indivisible unit of social structure in our Heathen times. And this is still very much the way that many heathens practice today. The idea being that anything that you do as an extension of the family, as an extension of your tribe, of your clan, whatever it is that you identify through, this is who you are a representative of. No one acts in a vacuum. Anything that I do in life echoes and impacts my tribe of Ridgar, but it also impacts the Shervan clan, my family. Anything that I put out there, anything that I do, any work that I do, if it be positive, brings honor to the family name. I build the legend of the Shervan clan. If I do foul deeds, then I damage that. The same thing goes for Ridgar. I am the Goldi of Ridgar. Even more than any other, what I do reflects upon my tribe. My Innangardh. Now, I'm very lucky at this point that my tribe is entirely made up of my Innangardh. It is possible for a tribe to grow to the point that it extends further out into the yard than just the closest. It's actually entirely possible for a tribe to grow to such size that the social structure itself consists of far more than your Innangardh. Actually, people that you would consider just outside the fence, still close because of those ties of social interaction, but I wouldn't necessarily call them Innangardh. Not in the truest sense of Innangardh. Now, I've talked a little bit before about national organizations. I've talked a little bit about giant tribes. This is where things go awry for me, all right? This is why I don't think heathenry happens on a grand scale, and why I am perfectly happy tending to my people, my folk here in East Texas, is because if you get too big, if you get too large and too wide, you lose the focus on the Innangardh. You lose the fact that the Innangardh comes first. If you look to the book, We Are Our Deeds by Eric Wodening, it's a wonderful exploration of arch-heathen ethics from a linguistic standpoint. He mentions the fact that what seems to be best in the arch-heathen mind is that which is best for the family, best for the sib. What is good for the tribe is good for the sib because of these ties, but what is best for the sib is the best of all. What is best for one's roof tree, what is best for one's family, that is what is best of all. Now, good versus evil from an arch-heathen standpoint, again drawing from the book We Are Our Deeds, that which is good is that which benefits the survival and well-being of the tribe. That which is evil is that which is negligent or actively counterproductive to the well-being of the tribe. Again, it drives home the importance of Innangardh. Focus on the inner yard. Take care of your inner yard. If you do this, life will be good. Now, some people take this to an extreme. This is where I'm going to get off on a little bit of a tangent. I see some people that take the inner yard, outer yard aspect to an extreme and basically are to a point where if you're not of their inner yard, then they don't want anything to do with you at all. They don't care about you at all. If you're not my Innangardh, screw you. I owe you nothing. Well, this is true. You don't necessarily owe anything to the outer yard, unless through social contract you have established debts. And that is a whole different thing. Obligation, oath debts, things like this. They do grow up with the outer yard. We do build those things up. And here's why. We establish those connections. We ally with tribes. We build our folk community because the Innangardh can't necessarily do it on its own. In order to survive in this world, you have to ally your Innangardh with others. We have to band together in some ways to build community, and through this we survive. Now, in another video that I'm going to be doing here very soon, I'm going to explore the concepts of false kinship and how this grows out of this kind of mentality. Some misconceptions that I see that modern heathens have, particularly that lead to a lot of the debates that we see online. In the meantime, what I'd like for you to do, think on your own Innangardh. Think on your own Utangardh, because everyone has them. Look at your life. Look at the people that you hold nearest and dearest, and you will see exactly what I'm saying. If you are the house in the middle, even if there's no one else in your immediate family but you, and you are alone in seemingly nowhere, start looking, and you will find that you have people around you. This is essential. Mankind is a social being, and we cannot exist without each other. We need each other. That's what heathenry is about. I always call heathenry a folk way of relationships, because to me it's our relationship with the gods and goddesses, our relationship with our ancestors, our relationship with the Vetir, and possibly most important of all, our relationship to each other. So build on that. Look at what you're doing. How are your actions bettering your Innangardh? How is what you are doing with your life strengthening either your clan, your tribe? Begin to think about things like that, and you will find that decisions you make take on a whole different element when you start to think about what's good for the Innangardh, what's dangerous for the Innangardh. Judgment becomes your responsibility, because you have to protect that Innangardh. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So think about it. Look to your Innangardh. Who's in your outer yard? And what are you doing to protect that? If you liked the video today, give us a like, shoot a subscribe on the channel, maybe give us a comment down in the sections below. You'll find Wordweaver Productions on Facebook. It is an open group. Feel free to join. I post all of my videos there. You'll also get updates and whatnot if you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go through and hit like on the videos. Make sure that you watch them all the way through. This helps with the algorithms popping up the videos in your feed. So if you want to see these things, if you want to see more of this in the future, hit those buttons. In the meantime, Hey, have a good day.